At night, Frank dug at the prison wall. During the day, he would scoop the powdered debris into his pockets and secretly scatter it on the ground whenever he was allowed outside. Eventually, the wall was almost open, but he hit another problem. The metal grate wouldn't budge no matter how hard he pulled. One day, while working, Frank noticed a wedge-shaped tool. Its design was perfect for his needs. The only problem was that the metal on both ends would set off the detectors. So how could he possibly sneak it back in? Frank didn't overthink it. He boldly carried the wedge through security. Sure enough, the alarm went off immediately. Before the guard could even speak, Frank raised the wedge and asked if he could take it back to his cell to use as a coat hook. Of course, the guard said no and confiscated it. But once Frank returned to his cell, he pulled out another wedge from the heel of his shoe. It turned out the one he carried through the checkpoint was just a decoy. He jammed the real wedge into the bars of the grate and kicked it twice with force. As expected, the grate came loose. Still, this wasn't the right time to escape. Guards could check on him at any moment, so he needed a cover. He mixed newspaper with water, shaping it into a rectangle, then glued together dried cardboard with dirt. Pretending he wanted to paint, he asked the guard for cardboard and paints. With a few small adjustments, he had built a fake vent cover. Just as things were moving along smoothly, the warden suddenly showed up for a surprise inspection. The warden stepped into Frank's cell, opened his trunk, and the homemade grate was right there within reach. Luckily, Frank's craftsmanship was convincing enough, and the warden didn't notice a thing. Still, that close call put Frank on edge. He had to pick up the pace. Using leftover newspaper, he crafted a dummy, pasted on some hair for the head, and tucked it neatly under the blanket. From a glance, it looked like Frank was sound asleep. With everything in place, he crawled into the vent, replaced the fake grate behind him, and set off. He climbed through the ducts until he reached the prison's rooftop, the highest level of the building. There was no way forward, only upward, but the barred window above was too high to reach, no matter how hard he jumped. Tonight, escape was impossible. Meanwhile, on the other side, a guard returned from patrol and noticed something odd. Why was Frank's cellmate already asleep so early? The cellmate quickly made up an excuse. But then, the guard's baton slipped and clattered to the ground with a loud bang. Frank didn't move an inch. The guard grew suspicious and reached out to grab Frank's head.